Good afternoon. This is Larry Tentarelli with today's edition of Your Daily 5 for StockCharts.com. I'm going to go over 5 charts that are at the top of my watch list right now, and we'll get started with a brief introduction. You can find me on Twitter. My handle is at LMT978. You can also find us on YouTube at Blue Chip Daily. So we're going to start with chart number 1, which is the energy sector. And we've covered the energy sector a few times here over the past few months. And it's one of our top ranked sectors here, breaking out to new highs. So I've got the energy sector ETF, XLE. This is one of our biggest positions right now. We started to buy this recently, just as it started to come over the 200-day moving average. So there's a lot of stocks in this sector that are set up very well right now. But we'll go through XLE. And the first thing that we see, uptrend, new highs today at 92.44, trading over 4 rising moving averages. So there's been a lot of constructive signals, and I'll just show you a few things that you can look for going forward. So I followed XLE for years. We've had positions in it over time, but the first thing that really put it back on our radar screen back in July was the close over the 200-day moving average. And then it had a nice back test right down to the 100-day. Since then, we've got a 200-day moving average reclaim. Before that, the 20-day crossed the 50-day to the upside. And what this showed was improving shorter term momentum. The 20-day crossed the 200-day to the upside in July. We had the 50-day, they call this the golden cross, where the 50-day crossed the 200-day to the upside. And now we're at a new high. A lot of nice volume coming into the upside. So we've been adding to this position on the way up. And I do plan to add to this sector maybe today, maybe some point this week. Now, I will say this, in the very, very short term, the chart could be getting extended. If we take a look, daily RSI is up at 73. Whenever I look at an index or a major ETF, when I see the daily RSI start to trade over 70, that tells me that at least in the short term, that the stock or the ETF could be due for some healthy consolidation, some back and fill to digest the recent gains. So we've got a big position here. I do plan to add to it. I probably won't add to it today with it being up here on the chart, but I do plan to on any type of normal pullback or consolidation. But this by far is one of our top ranked sectors and a key focus group that we have on the list. Number 2, we're going to move into the technology sector. And what I'm seeing right now is there are quite a few constructive charts across the board in almost all 11 of the S&P 500 sectors. I'm a technical trader, so I focus on the charts. And what I look for is predominantly uptrends. So Arista Networks, one of our top ranked stocks here. It's been on our members' top 25 list for a while. Recent chart of the day, chart of the week. So Arista Networks, $60 billion market cap in the technology sector. They do have a lot of exposure to the AI theme and the AI data center and infrastructure build out. So if we look at the chart, very, very good trend. Recently made a new high just over the past week or so. And we're going to see the same pattern. It's trading over 4 rising moving averages. It had a very, very big gap higher after earnings on a lot of volume. And after that gap, it consolidated for a few weeks and then started to make its move higher. So longer term uptrend, not extended on the daily RSI. One of my top ranked charts overall in the technology sector. Now, obviously, we've got some shorter term volatility in the NASDAQ 100. We've had some Apple news. We've got the CPI next week and the Fed 2 weeks after that. But we can see that Arista, even through all of this volatility, has held up very nicely. It had one down day yesterday over, it looks like, the past 2 weeks. And it's been my experience that the charts that hold up the best in general market pullbacks are often the ones that break out the first on the move higher. Next, we're going to move into the communication services sector. We're going to take a look at Alphabet, and you'll see this is a very similar chart from an uptrend perspective as the first two that we've taken a look at. So key things: 4 rising moving averages. We do have a position in Google from lower, in Alphabet, I should say, from lower. 4 rising moving averages, and it's got a very constructive, the first price base, we'll call this 115 to 125, 126, right in that range. We can see 126, 127. So it's got a price base here, broke out, and then it tested right back into that price base. The buyers defended it at 126 and 127, similar to this support line here. It's been trending higher, recently made a new 52-week high within the past 10 days. And once again, even with the volatility this week in the NASDAQ 100, Alphabet is pending higher for the week, and it's got a very nice chart structure. So it's set up well, whether it's here or on any type of normal consolidation. Chart number 4, we're going to stay in the communication services sector once again, and we're going to take a look at Meta Platforms. Meta is a chart that we've covered quite a few times here over the past 6 months or so. We do have a position in Meta from lower, and it's starting to show some signs of recovery here. So obviously it had a very, very big breakout move into new 52-week highs, recently pulled back $50. So it pulled back maybe 15% or so, right in to this rising 100-day moving average. Now, ideally, I like to see stocks stay over the 20-day, and then as a second backstop, I like to see them stay over the 50-day. Meta did have a little bit of weakness here below the 50-day, but it did hold this longer-term uptrend over the 100-day, and now it's testing higher for the week. It's testing back over the 20-day, testing back over the 50-day, and 305 is the first level that I'd like to see Meta clear. But just by looking at the chart, it would be simple to use this trailing 100-day moving average as a longer-term trend filter. So it has backed off a little bit, but we're seeing signs of improvement in the Meta chart, and on any stability in triple Q, Meta looks like it's set to lead higher. Final chart that we've got today is Visa. We're going to move into the financial sector, $500 billion market cap. So this is a mega cap leader in the financial sector. And same chart structure. We've got 4 rising moving averages, and you're going to find, for the most part, in the charts that I cover, that I look for price above rising moving averages, because what that tells us is that on a 20-day trend, a 50-day trend, 100 and 200-day trend, the averages are all higher. So that's one of the first signs that we look for in a strong uptrend. This recently broke out to new highs as well. So we're seeing a similar theme with all 5 charts that we've looked at, is recently breaking out to new highs, pull back over the 20-day, set up fine, exactly where it is. It's got a very, very wide price base. Just by looking at the chart, we can see 235, 233, 233, 234, and 232. Also, the 100-day is at 234. So if I was looking to set a lower risk support level here, 234, 235, right in that range is quite a bit of support. So even though the markets have been volatile this week, choppy, we know that it's September, which can be a challenging month in the indices. And we do have the CPI report coming next week, but there's quite a few charts that are set up very, very well, exactly where they are, or on any type of a pullback. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more of our free content, you can visit our website at bluechipdaily.com. We do offer a 30-day free trial if you'd like to get all of the members' benefits for 30 days and see what type of value we can add for your process. Thank you for watching today's video.